It's week 4 in the books, and I am all alone. Yep. Now we're just going to kind of jump into a recap of the game. Chiefs traveled to LA to face the Chargers for the first time this year. A lot of injuries on the Chargers side. They were missing both tackles. Joey Bosa was out, as well as, what is his name? Dionte? Do you remember his name? Yeah, I don't remember either. Derwin James was out with a suspension for one game for repeatedly violating the personal conduct, like player safety stuff, helmet-to-helmet tackles, stuff like that. I do think that kind of sucks because a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Chiefs got bailed out because Derwin James wasn't there. I don't see how that's the case, considering even when they're healthy, Chiefs have now won 11 in a row against the Chargers. 11 in a row. That's insane. So yeah, I don't think it would have mattered whether the tackles were there or not. Our defense played a huge role in this game, and we're just going to kind of talk about it. So first drive, Chiefs get the ball first. Chargers win the coin toss and elect to defer to the second half. So Chiefs get the ball. Super, super dope. First play, Carson Steele run for 0 yards. Next play, just a short pass to Noah Gray. And then probably the play that everybody's been waiting for the year was a 38-yard pass to Travis Kelce, who ran down the sideline, probably got like an additional, I think it was like 20 yards after the catch. Absolutely fantastic play. And then the very next play, Carson Steele runs for 3 yards and fumbles the ball, which has been an issue for him this year. Not really excited to hear and see that. I actually wasn't able to make the very beginning of the game. I saw a clip of the pass to Travis Kelce. I just bit my lip. I've been biting my lip all week, and it's extremely frustrating. I don't have anybody to make fun of me for that. It's kind of awkward. I'm looking to this side of the room over here, and it's like empty. There's no one or nothing. I'm not sad. You're sad. If you can't tell, I'm a little stuffy too, a little bit under the weather, but we're doing this anyways. So Carson still fumbles. It's been a thing with him. I'd say it's been a thing. It's his second fumble of the year. He is a rookie. He's got to know to hold on to the ball. It kind of stinks, but the benefit we have is that Kareem Hunt came back, which we'll talk about Kareem Hunt here in a minute. So yeah, after the fumble by Carson Steele, Chargers get the ball at their own 26-yard line, and for the third time this year, we give up a touchdown on the first drive of the game for the other team. And for the fourth time this year, which if you can count right, that's every game we have allowed points on the opening drive for the opposing team. So that kind of stinks. However, it does seem like after the initial drive, our defense just kind of locks down, right? They figure out the game plan for the other team. It's almost like they're waiting to see what the other team's going to do. Spags kind of holds back a little bit, and then as soon as they figure out kind of like the game plan of how they're going to attack us, we counter that attack, which has been honestly lights out. I think if you take away the opening drive, I think teams are averaging less than. Oh, what did they say? It's like around like 10 or 11 points a game after the opening drive, which is kind of crazy to think about, considering that, 3 different teams have scored touchdowns on opening drives in 4 weeks on us. So yeah, we're defensively looking very well, right? I don't really have any worries about our defense. Again for another week, FAU was looking good. Chris Jones had 2 sacks on the game. He was looking great. He had 3 quarterback hits. Um, uh, you had a really good rush by Turk Wharton that forced Justin Herbert out of the pocket to get a sack. Yeah, I mean the defense played really well, really really well. Um, you go to so after Chargers score their touchdown, we go to our next drive, which is the drive that everybody thinks Patrick Mahomes made his absolute worst play of his career. The whole play itself, from very beginning to end, was absolute chaos, and it's got to be one of the worst plays that a player could have had. So Patrick Mahomes drops back. He throws a ball, what looks like to be going to, I can't remember if it was Rashee Rice or Justin Watson or Juju. He threw a ball and he overthrew the receiver by about 5 yards. It was intercepted, and on the return, Rashee Rice comes back. He actually swats the ball out of the defender's hands, and as that happens, Patrick Mahomes is kind of throwing his back low to kind of trip up the defensive back that made the interception. But as he does that, Rashee Rice plants his right foot in the ground, and Patrick Mahomes rolls into Rashee Rice's knee. They're going 2 very opposite directions with 2 very opposite momentums, and Rashee Rice, with his foot planted, his knee bends back and out, and he left with an injury to his knee for the game. It looks like, instantly I thought it was going to be an ACL or an MCL tear, but unfortunately we don't know that right now. It's still up in the air. It's not looking like we'll know until the day of the Saints game on Monday. So, yeah, that was that was just a misfortunate play. And Rice couldn't put any weight on his leg for the next several minutes. He got carted off the field, and as he was getting carted off, he just kind of laid back on the cart, threw a towel over his face, and you could tell he was upset, frustrated, and they went back, did an x-ray, and dictated from the x-ray, Rashee Rice was ruled out, especially with him not being able to put weight on it and whatnot. So, yeah, that was a little bit. I say a little bit of a bummer. That was a huge bummer, man. That was a very unfortunate play, and yeah, man, it's just one of those things that you can't really predict, and you don't really know what to do, and so you're just kind of there. You just kind of let it happen. So, yeah, man, there's nothing you can do about it now. We're just going to keep pressing on. And that's kind of what the Chiefs did for the rest of the game. So we, I say the rest of the game. Really not until like towards the end of the first or second quarter. So Chargers score a field goal on that drive. The next drive for the Chiefs, 3-and-out. We punt, and honestly, Matt Ariza's 53-yard punt down to the LA 19, fantastic. Then Chargers essentially 3-and-out because they did have a penalty. So, but it's essentially a 3-and-out on the Chargers. So defense stepped up there. They were put in a bad spot on the previous drive where the ball was turned over and returned almost, into their territory down to, what was it? I think it was the 25 of the Chiefs. Nope, it was the 20 of the Chiefs. So back into the red zone. So they held on the previous drive. They held the Chargers to a field goal and then push them to 3-and-out on the next drive. And then after that, the Chiefs get the ball back. They 3-and-out. Excuse me. After that, Chargers get the ball back. They 3-and-out. So it's just a crazy, chaotic just play all the way around. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And this is all, um, for the most part, in the first quarter. The Chiefs 3-and-out, second Chiefs 3-and-out, wound up going. No, wait, hold on. So how many 3-and-outs we got in a row? So Chiefs had the interception, then Chargers 3-and-out, Chiefs 3-and-out, Chargers 3-and-out, Chiefs 3-and-out, and that's like Chiefs 3-and-out happened like right as the second quarter started. Then the Chargers 3-and-out. Oh my goodness. Then the Chiefs 9 plays, finally not a 3-and-out, but they only gained 15 yards, and we punted again. Matt Ariza had an absolute day. So let's look at Matt Ariza's stats. So you go down to Matt Ariza. He had 4 punts with a long of 53. Let's see if it gives us his average punt for last week. So last week versus the Chargers, his average was 50 yards, man. He had an average of 50 yards in the air. That's kind of crazy. And there was one that he kicked. It like hit at the 5-yard line, went straight up into the air, bounced again, and then rolled towards the goal line. I don't know how he did it, but our guys were sitting at the goal line waiting. The ball was at the 1. We really realistically should have been able to hold the Chargers there. But, yeah, so you've got on the Chiefs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the Chiefs' 6th drive, after 3 consecutive 3-and-outs by the Chiefs after an interception and the fumble, and then 4 subsequent 3-and-outs by the Chargers. 3 3-and-outs by the Chargers. The Chiefs' next drive, on the very first play, on a bad punt by the kicker for the Chargers, McCole Hardman, the ball bounces like around the Chargers 45 and starts rolling into Chiefs territory. McCole Hardman does the smart thing and grabs it. He goes down immediately at the Chiefs 45, which I think is a very smart play, because if he doesn't pick that up, that ball is rolling at least another 10 yards into Chiefs territory. And if that happens, I don't think we have the next play, which the very first play of the drive, Patrick Mahomes drops out, and Rashee Rice just running up the seam on a go. While he's running, Travis Kelce runs across the middle and pulls the free safety in what should be double coverage on Xavier Worthy. I think I said Rashee Rice. I meant Xavier Worthy. Okay, so Xavier Worthy runs it just up the seam, down the sideline, coming back towards the post. Travis Kelce on the right side of the line runs a quick 10 and then across and pulls the safety from the back like 4 steps up, I think. It's like he took like two or three initial steps like to his right and then ran 4 yards towards Travis Kelce. And then by that time, Patrick Mahomes was releasing the ball, traveled 62 yards in the air, which is kind of crazy because that was the most air yards that Patrick Mahomes has completed the pass with. And it goes for a 54-yard touchdown. So Xavier Worthy finally got what he was going for. Xavier. I think it's Xavier. I don't know, man. Worthy. We're just going to call him Worthy. And, man, is he worthy enough to be on this team. He made a great move. Travis Kelce pulled the safety down. It was a touchdown. And he was absolutely hyped after it. And I was too, man. It was the longest touchdown. It was the first 50-yard touchdown or 50-plus yard touchdown since I think it was December 11th of 2022. So it's been almost 2 full years since Patrick Mahomes has thrown a 50-yard touchdown. And that, to me, is just absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So we score on that drive. It's fantastic. We We kick off and we force the Chargers into another 3-and-out. So to end the first half, the Chargers had 4 3-and-outs. Essentially, they had 5 3-and-outs because on the field goal that they got in our territory, they only had 4 plays. One of those plays being I believe it was a penalty. Let's see. Let's see. I think it was a penalty. I can't see. I don't remember. Yep, there was a penalty. So yeah, so essentially another 3-and-out. And it was just it showed the defense showed that when our offense is not rolling, the defense can step up. We can make plays. We were getting into the backfield. We took advantage of their weak offensive line, and we really didn't look back until, really for the rest of the game. There was a drive where the Chargers could have scored in the second half, but they didn't. So to end the first half, the Chiefs get the ball. We get the ball down to the 47-yard line of the Chargers with 4 seconds left, and we send out the butt kicker, Harrison Butker, and the kick is no good. He leaves it probably about a yard or two short. You could tell when he kicked it, he didn't get all of it. Now, it's not quite an open stadium at SoFi, but there is places for like air to blow through. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, Butker, did his best with what he was given on the hold to put the ball as far as he could, and he just couldn't put enough on it. We know he's got the leg. We've seen him hit from 70 in warm-ups. I think that day he had hit from like 65 plus in warm-ups. So, yeah, man, it's just a little unfortunate, but that went to the half. So it would have been 10-10 with that, but with that missed field goal, it was 7 Chiefs, 10 Chargers at the halftime. Coming out of halftime, we know we're without Rice coming back, and defense knows they need to step up. And defense, we're just going to keep it a little short, but defense keeps a 0 on the board for the second half. Fantastic to them. Chargers come out with the ball in the second half, and they wind up missing a field goal. So the field goal he was taking was from his own, or from the Chiefs' 45. It was a 55-yard field goal, which, Dicker has the leg for, but he just pushed it, as Bill fans hate to hear, wide right. Ball went wide right, and Chiefs took over at their own 45-yard line. And then after that, we go down. Kareem Hunt, who's an absolute stud, got some carries. He was getting, yards after yards after yards. And I think he averaged, let's look. So Kareem Hunt averaged, he took 14 carries for 69 yards, which was an average of almost 5 yards a carry. So, man, that's just absolutely crazy. The guy comes in cold, hasn't played for a while, didn't have a preseason. He says he's going to be the back of old, and he comes in and just absolutely makes everyone look silly. We score a field goal on that first drive we get in the second half. And then after that, we give the ball back to the Chargers. And on the Chargers' second drive, they have 14 plays, and they turn the ball over on downs. So they get all the way down to the excuse me. They get all the way down to the Kansas City 3-yard line, and it's 4th and 1. They had a 3rd and 5. They got down a little ball, which is going to be controversial. Who was it? Quentin Johnson, I believe it was. It was either Quentin Johnson, or who's Joshua Palmer. I'm not sure which one. I can't think off the top of my head. Actually, it says it right here. It was it was the Joshua Palmer, and it looked live like he was touched down at the 3-yard line, and he after replay from seeing a couple angles, you couldn't really tell. It looks like he wasn't touched, and the Chargers, instead of electing to challenge the spot, which would have allowed them to dictate whether he was touched down by contact or not, because you can't challenge if he was down by contact, but you can challenge the spot. Instead of doing that, the Chargers called a timeout and then just went for it on 4th and 1 from the Kansas City 3-yard line. They did not get it, which means Chiefs take over at the 3-yard line. Very first play, Kareem Hunt runs for 6 yards. Next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 7 yards. The next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 5 yards. So we were feeding Kareem Hunt, and he was absolutely hype after every run. Kind of had that Isaiah Pacheco, how he pops back up and it's just like, yeah, like that was Kareem Hunt all day. We wound up punting on that drive, though. The next drive for the Chargers is the 3-and-out. And then that's the one where we pin them all the way back on their nope, that's not the one. That's when they're on their 15-yard line. But still, like, another punt by Ariza down to the inside the 20-yard line of the Chargers. So the next drive, we have 5 plays for 68 yards. I'm sorry, 5 plays for 60 yards, and that went for a touchdown as well. So we started at our own 40. Kareem Hunt ran for, it was a pass to Noah Gray for 29 yards, which was fantastic. Then the next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 9 yards. Play after that, Kareem Hunt runs for another 5 yards. Absolutely hype after that. Then Mahomes passes short for 9 yards to Kareem Hunt again. And then Mahomes finally hands the ball off to P. Ryan after a penalty on the defense. It was defensive holding, and they put the ball at the Charger 3. Or they put the ball at the Charger 2 and allowed for, we gave the ball to P. Ryan, and he scored a touchdown. So the rest of the game, it was 5 plays for Chargers, and then they punted, and then the Chiefs held the ball for the rest of the game. So, I mean, let's just go over the stats really quick. Team stats, we got Patrick Mahomes over here. Didn't really have the best of games, but he had 245 yards. Other than that one turnover, he was able to take care of the ball. 245 yards on 19 of 29 for a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 3 times for 17 yards. I'm sorry. Then we had rushing Kareem Hunt, 14 for 69. Samaje Perine got the ball 5 times for 14 yards. Patrick Mahomes had 5 rushes for 12 yards, which is kind of funny because he had his long was 13 yards. So his total after 5 rushes was less than his longest run. And that's just because of the sacks count against a quarterback as a rush, so which is kind of crazy. Then Carson Steele only touched the ball twice for 3 yards. He touched the ball the first time, got nothing. The next time, he fumbled the ball. So he did not touch it after that, I don't believe. So Travis Kelce, finally a breakout game for Travis Kelce. He had 7 catches on 9 targets for 89 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but man, he looked good. he showed that he can still get open. He showed that he can still run routes, and that anybody doubting him, well, guess what? He can turn it on whenever he wants to. He doesn't need to hold back. It really shows that he's kind of been opening up the field for other teams, for other players, like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, which on that Worthy touchdown pass, he did open up the field. So good on him. Xavier Worthy had 3 catches for 73 yards, including that 54-yard touchdown on 4 targets. Noah Gray had 4 catches for 40 yards on 4 targets, so he caught all the balls thrown his way. Justin Watson, 2 for 27. Kareem Hunt for 2 for 16. And then Carson Steele had 1 catch for no yards. Then on the defense, Drew Tranquil led our team with 10 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. And then you had the head of Sack Nation, and that is Chris Jones. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits. Man, did he look good. He looked absolutely fantastic. So I'm really stoked to see him doing well. No, George Karlaftis did not get a half a sack on one of his tackles because he didn't get the sack. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's fine. That's fine. It's whatever. And then Turk Wharton had a few really good rushes. Didn't get any tackles, but man, he affected the backfield for the Chargers quite a bit, making Herbert move out of the pocket and allowing other players on the defense to make plays. So good on him. And then Felix Anudike-Uzomah looked really good as well on a few rushes going to the quarterback. We were without Mike Dana, which we felt a little bit, but then, like, honestly, after the first couple of drives, it was just kind of locked down from the defense. And then, man, Trent McDuffie, he had 1 tackle for a loss that was an absolute bull rush to keep J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. That was fantastic. He had 6 total tackles, 3 solo tackles. And then Leo Chenal also had a tackle for a loss in the backfield where he just kind of ran down the line and met the running back in the backfield. So our defense is what's going to carry us for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. And, man, am I glad to see that.